All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to unpack an ancient fable that has this surprisingly modern twist on survival. We're talking about the bat and the weasels, and what it teaches us about the art of situational identity.
Right off the bat, and yeah, pun intended, I want to start with a question that, honestly, we all have to face at some point. Is your identity a cage, or is it a set of tools? Think about it. Are the labels you carry trapping you, or are they things you can pick up and use depending on what you need? That's really the heart of what we're getting into today.
So, first up, let's talk about something called the identity trap. You know, society loves consistency, right? People are always telling you to be yourself. But what they really mean is, be the one thing we expect you to be. And that pressure to fit into one neat little box, it can be incredibly dangerous. It kind of forces you to cling to a single label, even when that very label puts you right in harm's way. But what if there's a different way to play the game? An ancient story from Aesop actually gives us a masterclass in how to escape this exact trap. It's a real fable of survival. Okay, so picture this. Our hero, a bat, messes up and flies straight into the nest of a predator. Now, this weasel has a very simple, very rigid rule. He absolutely hates mice. And to him, the bat looks a whole lot like a mouse. So things are looking pretty grim, right? And this is where the bat's genius kicks in. It doesn't argue. It doesn't try to fight the weasel's hatred of mice. Nope. It just completely redefines itself. It points to its wings and says, "Look at these! Can mice fly? No way! I'm obviously a bird." It totally sidesteps the predator's whole worldview, and the weasel has no choice but to let it go.
But of course, the story's not over. Our bat, who's maybe a little clumsy, finds itself in the exact same situation just a few days later. But here's the twist. This new weasel has the complete opposite prejudice. It's a sworn enemy of birds. So now, the bat's brilliant escape plan from before, it's the very thing that's about to get it killed.
And this is where the bat's incredible flexibility really shines. It just flips the script completely. It points out its lack of feathers, its mouse-like body. It even throws in this clever little line about hating cats just to really sell it. And once again, survival comes down to showing the right part of your identity at exactly the right moment. So what is this incredible skill the bat has? What's its secret weapon? Let's break it down.
What we're looking at here is something called situational identity. Now, this isn't about lying. It's about being smart enough to emphasize the part of your nature, the part of the truth, that serves you best in that specific context. The bat is both a flying mammal and a creature that looks like a mouse. It all depends on what you focus on. It's really the art of choosing your own label before someone else slaps one on you.
And this really highlights the clash between two totally different mindsets. On one hand, you've got the bat, who's like the diplomat, agile, flexible, refusing to be pinned down. And on the other, you have the weasels, the dogmatic predators. They see the world in black and white. Their rigid definitions are their weapon, sure. But the bat proves that those same definitions are also their biggest weakness. Okay, so how does this actually apply to us in our own lives? How do we find and use our own metaphorical wings and fur? Well, let's look at a few areas. In your personal life, think about family gatherings. You might talk about your career with one relative, but focus on your hobbies with another, just to find that common ground. Or in relationships, it's about adapting how you communicate. Sometimes you need to offer comfort, other times distance. Professionally, this happens all the time. A freelancer might pitch themselves as a creative to one client and a data analyst to the next. But, and this is a big but, there are pitfalls. You have to be agile. If you get caught in a contradiction, you can lose trust. And if you adapt too much, you might lose your sense of self. And probably the most important rule, you absolutely have to have the skills to back up whatever identity you're presenting. So, how do we take this from just being a clever tactic to something deeper, a real understanding of who we are? It's time to, well, fly beyond the nest. I want you to really embrace this idea. You are not just one thing. You are a multitude. You've got those grounded, practical, mouse-like parts of you, and you've also got those soaring, visionary, bird-like qualities. This complexity isn't some flaw you need to hide. It's your greatest strength. It's your ultimate shield in a world that's always trying to stick you in a box. And to help make this idea stick, think about these growth mantras. They can be like your guide. Things like, I am a fluid being, adaptable and impossible to trap, or I use my complexity to navigate a rigid world. These aren't just empty affirmations. They're giving yourself permission to be your full, multifaceted self. And we're going to end on this final, really provocative thought. The predators out there, the rigid thinkers, They only have power over you if you accept their narrow definitions. The biggest trap isn't the weasel's nest. It's believing that you are only a mouse or only a bird. The moment you believe that, you've caged yourself. So the question is, what part of you will you choose to show today?